Hey guys, this is it. This is about, even though I'm doing it a minute early, but it's whatever. This is a new episode called Prof Talk with Rick Joseph. Prof Talk is basically, if anybody see my Facebook videos, it's about me expressing about how I feel about a certain situation, what have I been exposed to every day, and I used to do it every week. Then I realized, you know what? Why should I put my input on something? Why? Let's get people around and people who I should call, whether it's Facebook, whatever through my cell phone, whatever case may be, and see what they're viewing about certain things. So that's a quick bio on Prof Talk, and hopefully we get a lot of viewers right now. This is my very first live stream, so I'm a little nervous. But the thing is that I go and do a lot of things. Sometimes when people see me outside of this, I'm a very go lucky guy. So that's how it is. So this season is, we talk about anything. We have different guests. We talk about like what's going on, and we talk about like life reflective, like not only that what I have been through, what everybody been through throughout the past years, and how we look at things from different perspectives. So that's what it is. It's basically like a perceptive show. Right now, I have a guest here. This is my first guest. I know him since college. He was in my English class. He's the very brightest guy, but always sarcastic at times. So here's my guest, Andre Steer. Steele or Steele, whatever. Steer or Steele.
Repeat that?
Yeah, your last name is Steele, right? Steel.
No, Steer.
Okay, I got you. So I'm sorry, I thought I always spell your name Steele for some reason. Anyway,
Hey, I can say this, like that, they call me Spear.
okay, Andre, why don't you give the viewers a little bio about yourself? Take a little quick bio.
Hey, yeah, man, I'm just a college student, part-time college student. I'm a history major right now, just trying to get through that. I'm 81% done. And I'll be graduating pretty soon, actually. And then when I go to grad school, I want to start studying education because I want to teach.
That's cool.
For now, while I'm doing school, I'm also a full-time paraprofessional. And it's a job that I really love. It's been a big blessing, these past few weeks just being in that school and being in a charter school, too. So, it's a good environment. The kids there are wonderful. The staff is excellent, professional. One of the most professional staff I've ever worked with. And the best pay that I've ever received so far, and it's been wonderful, there's been good times, there's been some rough times too, and because the kid I work with, he has some struggles, and I'm there to support him, and then there's even some funny times too, for the class, it's crazy just seeing how often these kids, they sneeze and they cough without covering their mouths and all this stuff, and all the different ways to get germs in that class.
True.
It's ridiculous, man. Especially around winter, like winter, springtime. It's some of the funniest stuff, but I love that job, man.
That's what you guys do. You do a lot of things. When I think of paraprofessional, I'm thinking like you go to Manhattan and doing all this stuff like that. That's what I thought what a paraprofessional is. But since you explained it that way, it does make sense. You dealing with the kids, and I understand. I understand. We like in the '90s, we were the future for this generation. Now they're the future for the following 10 or 20 years. So
Definitely.
yeah, but now it's a little different now. Now this topic, speaking of kids, we're in a topic called the proper term is ass whooping if you're like me and like my boy here, but the proper term is actually discipline. And I'm trying to figure out which of the line become from discipline and abuse. What is the broad line between that?
That's a very, very, very tricky question, actually, when you think about it.
Yeah.
Now, I'll think about one particular case. Now, you remember the case with Adrian Peterson, right?
Yes.
Yeah, I remember he got in trouble because his kids were, found with marks on them and stuff like that, like scars and stuff.
Yeah.
I don't think a child should be beat to the point that there's scars and marks on them.
Yeah.
Honestly. I feel like if your kid ends up with some kind of, physical damage like that, then apparently you're beating them to a point that was completely and totally unnecessary. As a matter of fact, honestly, You know, when it comes to beating and abuse, you have to think about like the means in which a parent beats a child. Like, what do they use?
Yeah.
If you want to get into like the, I guess you'd say the weapons they use. Rick, okay, you right?
Mm-hmm.
Hey, can you like share with us like what kind of weapons or what kind of things your parents use to like inflict that discipline on you?
Let's see. Like in terms of what?
Like let's say it's a belt or a hanger or their own bare hands or you know.
You mean that? Wow. Well, you know my background. My background. We don't believe in timeouts and taking stuff away because at the time, all I know is this: if you did something wrong, to not from like the lightest punishment I ever got is like, oh boy, the lightest punishment I got is my sister. Is not my sister. The lightest punishment I got is when I don't know, something happened. I think I was like 6 years old and stuff like that, or I spilled something. I next, you know, all I know I got beat by the beat by the butt. But the worst discipline. I'm not gonna use the term beating because it's kind of controversial how to use the word. The worst discipline I got is that, let's see, you know, like when somebody tell you go take a shower, like a nice, you know, you feel nice, and you go say take a nice shower, then you feel like everything's okay. Then after that, you see like a shadow with like something metal, look like something about to turn out. Next, you know, you open the shower and start beating you and stuff like that. Like, oh god, all I know, oh my god, it's crazy. It's crazy, man. It is.
Oh man, that does sound crazy.
It's crazy, but like I understand why, because you know some people like older than me understand what they mean, because worse, and I thought I had it worse. The worst part is they took a they used to do back in the day, they took a switch. They said pick any type of switch that you want. So knowing them, they take a big one and just start beating them with it, you know, which you know I did not know that. But nowadays how things are now, I hate to say that they need a lot of that, because since I've been doing a little research nowadays, people being parents being friends and stuff like that, like, you know, like we have to recreate boundaries for kids, because you know, like you cannot like step all over them. But I understand, like nowadays I see a lot of things, you know, I see kids being disrespectful towards people, and you know, nowadays I see people to a point like it's like what the hell, you know, like to a point like I saw some YouTube video. There's a kid, you know, smoke weed and you know do all this stuff like that, and some parent posts a video post a video on Facebook, on YouTube, or Worldstar, whatever it is, and give him the Sherman Hemsley haircut. And I'm like, why you?
I remember that.
Huh?
I remember that. Yeah. Go on, but I just said I remember that.
Yeah, and I'm like, why you wanna post it on Facebook? And that next, you know, I understand, you know, you're trying to teach them tough love and stuff like that. I understand, I agree with that, but to some extent, you do know that anything that you post, like right now for this podcast, let's say is live. Next thing you know, when it's done being live, it will be posted, and no matter if you take it off or delete it or something like that, there's always somebody will have an extra copy. And nowadays they're making new ways to like copy or duplicate the thing, and that's why there's copyright infringement. That's why, you know, I do not get why you're doing it. You're gonna embarrass the child. You're gonna make the child have emotional scars, either him being depressed or him doing, God forbid, physically harm for himself or to the person who dumb enough to post that stuff like that. You know, it's just it's crazy. You know, like.
Had to think a simple spanking could have done the trick, but nope, they had to go pretty much murder that poor kid's reputation online.
Yeah.
It's crazy. You know, when you talk about like the lightest punishment we ever got versus the heaviest, for me, I think the lightest would have to be when I was like really, really young, like maybe second grade or so. And I'm a little busy around that time. I'm going to tell you why, because like they used to have these points during the day when they'll take like maybe, because my class has two teachers.
Yeah.
So maybe the second teacher will take a couple of boys and me use the bathroom. And you know, bring it to the bathroom. You know, I was one of those boys. But the idiocracy that I pulled off those days, is that, you see, my button on my pants was like really, really hard to take off. And I don't know if this was pride that was in me at the time, but I didn't want to ask the teacher to help me unbutton. So I would literally like be in the turnstile, whatever you call it, and I'll be like trying to make like piss sounds like as if I'm actually peeing, and really I wasn't actually like peeing. I was just like there waiting a couple of minutes, and then I'll leave act like actually peeing, and I did it. But then the dummy in me would then end up going back to class, and then I end up like peeing myself.
Oh damn, that's
So then I'll go home, and my mom will find out, of course. I knew my mom was going to find out, which is what made it even worse stupid. And she would like flip me over, have me on her lap, have my butt in there, and she used to like slap me with a slipper on my butt pretty much. And that's just the lightest. That's the lightest of that. But the heaviest I ever got, I think it's probably every single slap that my dad ever gave me. Now, he only gave me like maybe 3 slaps in my life. But I think each slap equated to maybe 20 of my mother's beatings.
wow. That's a good equivalent.
Man, like this dude, the way he slapped me one time, I flew across the room, man. I don't know that I was flying, and that ended up on full. I was just looking at him. I was just like staring up and just wondering, like, how in the world did dude just slap me like that? And I think I knew at that moment that I deserved it too. But at the same time, I was just so shocked because he was always like a kind guy and stuff like that. So for him to hit me, I knew that I messed up. But if you want to talk about like heaviest beatings or heaviest punishment, like definitely my dad. Just because of the force he put in it, and also just the shock that I felt from the fact that he even did it.
Yeah, that's kind of foul, bro. But it's whatever, you know. It's just crazy, man. It's just, you know, it just I didn't know how to react to it. It just, the thing is that you know, just people getting beatings nowadays, but like I understand why. Like at first, like, oh, why you hit me and stuff like that. Then you understand why, because it's like a training. But some people will take it a little too far, and nowadays how society is, like, oh, if you hit me, I'm calling child protective services. I'm like, because the way that how this is, when a kid is being bad, you cannot hit him and stuff. Like I feel bad for some people. Oh no, we're gonna take away this, we're gonna take away that. It's not gonna do nothing, to a degree that like I see like bad kids going on Maury and stuff like that, and they take them to hard time places and like that. And I'm like, yo, what? And to me personally, I'm like, yo, what's going on? You know, because you cannot handle your kid. All it is preventing beating. But at the same time, like the Boondocks. The Boondocks is a good show to me. It's hilarious. It's funny, but at the same time, it's promoting beating. Like, okay, we're gonna beat the kid, but it's not like, okay, don't do this. If it happens, there should be some reinforcement for it. And actually, you know, with me, I'm the type of person, I don't like putting my hands on anybody or anything unless I know you stupid. You done something stupid. But I'm not gonna go hit the kid because I realize, you know, I don't like to beat people. I like, you know what? I discipline. I like, you know what? I look at you and I feel like if you don't do it again, I'm gonna hit you. But the way they think I'm hitting is like kind of hard. But like I said, I'm trying to teach you what is right and what is wrong, because it's not fair that we should get beat. We should that, you know, you should get beaten just cause, you know. Nowadays, some people kind of take it too far. But I'm not saying all people, but I'm saying those people that take it too far, and it's kind of harder now because next thing they taking care of taking kids out, because next, you know, I see some people like, okay, they should be like knowing the kid and having an attitude, they should just beat you, you know what I mean? But I think that, you know, there should be like a specific regulation on beating, because you cannot ban beating, because nowadays you see these kids being rebellious and stuff like that. I see some things and think like, oh my god, why are they not taking care of it? Why are they not, you know? And I see people, the kids running out of control, and there's no discipline to stuff like that, and you know, and I also see some parents take things a little too far. So
now, you know, I'm part of that old school group who actually doesn't see anything like really wrong with beating, as long as it's not taken too far. And I will say this too. I think beating should only occur if there's a couple steps that were taken before that.
Exactly.
To help discipline a child. Like,
Exactly.
for example, if you could actually talk to the kid, and the kid will actually, receive your message and turn away from what it is that you don't want to do, then I don't think beating is necessary because the talking is working.
Yeah, exactly.
If the talking doesn't work, then okay.
Then
ground them. And grounding, that could be a little issue, but ground them. See if that works for that particular child, or whether they're young or a teenager, or whichever age they are. Take away something. Take away, okay, if they're a child, take away their video games. If they're a teenager, tell them, okay, you can't go to prom, or you can't go to that party that you've been asking permission to go to, this dance, whatever it may be, or to the movies with their friends on this particular night. Take those things away. If that doesn't work, all right, then you may have to, use it. I would say use it bare hands. Just slap, maybe give them a slap in the face. Try to slap some steps to them.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? Like, you don't have to go full force to beat them with, like, the nearest weapon, of course.
Exactly.
Because you don't know what can happen with that. You can end up accidentally doing something more intended to do. But, slap them across in the back of their head and slap them in the face, If grounding doesn't work and talking doesn't work, maybe that will get their attention.
Exactly.
And then if that doesn't work, well, honestly, it depends on the child. Like, if it's a teenager, maybe using a belt is going to be a little bit harder to do because they're probably going to resist more because they're older. But if, like a little kid, take the belt, give them a couple slaps with it.
Yeah.
That's it. That should get their, if that doesn't get their attention, then you may have to get some intervention from, I don't know, maybe a professional or whatnot, maybe a counselor.
Yeah.
A child psychologist,
Yeah.
But I'm just saying, my point is, I don't think beating should be the first, method of discipline.
Yeah.
It shouldn't be the first resort. It should be the last resort of anything.
I completely agree. But bro, I completely agree with you. But Andre, compare to this now. Compare to this generation kids now. Compare to our generation then. Do you think that we were more controlled, or they're more controlled?
No, our group is definitely more controlled. You definitely see that in the way, not only just the way we act in our homes, but also in school. The kids nowadays, and with me wanting to get to the teaching profession, so I pay more attention to this. The kids nowadays, especially like in high school stuff, you start to see a lot of them talking back to kids, or not adults, sorry. They want to fight teachers, they want to, it's gotten so bad, they even want to fight deans. And they used to be like they used to be felt like the police chief of damn school, So, I don't know what's going on. I think a lot of people may hear this and think that we're generalizing or stereotyping, but really, at this point, I don't even think that's the case anymore, because you see this so much, especially in urban, real, poor neighborhood schools,
Yeah.
Where you see a lot of kids that just come in, they don't take the education as well seriously, they're not taking the teacher seriously anymore, they're really just talking back to the teacher any way they want to. I saw one video that shook me, actually. And I don't know if you saw this video. It was on Welfare, I believe.
Yeah.
And there was an older lady, and she was a substitute. She wasn't really like their official teacher. Mm-hmm. And she was supposed to watch, a high school class, and she was just there, scared. Like, she was actually fearing for her life because, a couple of the students, especially this one big guy in particular, just getting at her, just taking her things, snatching things from her, taking her, she had some assignments for them to do, they just took it away from her, just threw it to the side. He had this one girl recording and stuff like that. She wasn't even calling for security when the teacher asked us to call for security. Like, this woman is defenseless. And I'm just wondering, don't they realize this is a grown adult here that they're harassing? They should have respect for all this. What the hell happened?
Yeah, I know, boy.
What in the hell happened? At this point, I don't even think beatings can help those kids, They've gone too far. But my question, though, is, I didn't think about this, because it's very important for us to ask this question before we jump to conclusions or assumptions. Is it really the beating that straightened us out back in the 90s and 80s or wherever the older generation was born? Is it really the beating?
Well, it depends on the to be honest with you, it depends on like what kind of environment that you was raised, because I know people keep double lives and stuff like that, but we kind of hit it good. Because we didn't have that much exposure to social media. We didn't have that much to Facebook and stuff like that. We was running on like Mac computers and stuff like that. We just started with the flip flops and stuff like that. Nowadays, get on like 2004 and stuff like that when YouTube first came out, and Facebook and MySpace and all that stuff like that. Not even if we had MySpace, it wasn't that much. It was just as photos and stuff like that. But nowadays, World Star coming up, and nowadays there's a lot of things that's coming up, and for our thing is just that it's very, very crazy. It's just that the fact of the matter is that, like, okay, we see the next to know people think, oh, we're gonna post a video of somebody getting beat up and stuff like that, without knowing the consequences. There might be some cops maybe watching this video or watching any other World Star video and say, let's get this and let's ask questions, because this whenever we post stuff, this you don't know that there's a crime because they doing it for views and stuff like that. But not knowing that the certain amount of views can have police officers or detective look at it and post and send it to the local precincts and whatever case maybe where that video was filmed at.
Yeah.
That's my main issue. My main issue is making sure that, like, the problem is that we have to understand, like, what's going on. It's not about the beating and stuff like that. Nowadays it's just like there is no control. There is like no control. Like to a point that things are not good. It's not like it seemed like how he was, because some people, our parents will not put up with it. Nowadays, within this new generation, they call them. I think we consider as the millennials or something like that. I think we are.
Well,
I think
millennials stand for like people who are born, I think, from the 80s onward. I think.
80s onward. Oh, I didn't know.
I think. I have to double check that.
Yeah, I had to double check that too. No, but
I think.
No.
Just to add on to what you were saying, I feel, because you're talking about like the internet and whatnot, and I think the internet has had an effect on some of the kids nowadays.
Yeah.
Just the way they communicate and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But also the way that also the ideas they're getting too. Because you see the trends that spread throughout the internet. These really stupid trends that we see nowadays. That kids they follow. For some reason they think it's cool and they think it's funny. And they go on and they do it themselves in their schools and whatnot. It's just
exactly.
But I feel like not even that really we can really point at and say that could be like the sole reason. I think that adds on to it. But there's more, because I know there's a big difference as far as morality goes.
Yeah.
Like from when we were younger to now. And there are so many different reasons for that. For possible reasons, I should say. You can't really pinpoint one. But my point is that back then, it seemed like more of a taboo to talk back to your parents and stuff, and talk back to elders.
Yeah.
And now it seems like it's a bit more justified. I don't know where that justification came from, or where that sense of justification came from.
Yeah.
And that's the thing that's confusing me, and I can't quite. I don't know. I think about it a lot, and I just don't get it. Like, how did it reach a point where we have security guards pretty much just letting kids leave school whenever they want and not? And they're just like being friends with the kids. Or if we have these teachers who are so afraid of their own students that they're willing to give them like maybe a whole month worth of a grace period on assignment. Or you have parents who, instead of being parents, they're trying to be their kids' friends. They're trying to be the cool parent that spoils them, buys them all these different things. Whenever their kid receives a bad progress report, they don't even try to discipline the child, really. They just come up with all these different excuses as to why their child is getting held back or why they're not doing so well. And instead of trying to solve the problem, they're over there buying their kids their reward and stuff, and rewarding their kids, and it makes no sense. I remember back in my old job, there's this one boy. He used to disrespect us every single day. Every single day, I used to annotate and jot down notes for that child, to give to his parents. That used to pick him up. And, he would see it, and he would say, yeah, I'll talk to him. That's all he would say, but he would tell me, yeah, I'll talk to him. And then next, the kid comes in the next day, he has brand new Jordans, or brand new clothes. And it killed me because this kid does not deserve any of that. His grades aren't good, because I see his report card, his grades aren't that good. He comes into the after-school program, and he disrespects everybody. Shows no regard for the rules whatsoever, and he was cursing in class. He was like harassing people in class. He was disrupting the class. It made no sense for him to be rewarded for his actions. He didn't do anything to deserve any of that, and yet his father still rewarded him. So how is this kid going to? Why would this kid take any of this talking that the father did with him about his actions in the after school seriously if he's going to get rewarded anyway? If you really want to strike at his heart, why don't you take something away? Why don't you take away his Jordans and force him to wear some, less stellar shoe that he may not want to wear, and he knows that kids are going to not give him attention for him, or even make fun of him. I know that you're talking about the mental scarring that comes with people making fun of you and stuff like that. When you're talking about posting videos up on the internet.
Yeah.
But this is a minimal case. This isn't that extreme. This is just a kid going to school where nobody's really recording him wearing old ugly looking sneakers. But my point is this: don't reward him with the things that he wants, like these new sneakers and stuff like that. Take away things. Show him that he has to take rules seriously, that he has to take school seriously, that he has to take, discipline from not only his parents, but also all the adults that he interacts with throughout the day. Seriously.
Yeah. Well, my...
I think this is crazy because there's millions of kids that go through the same thing he goes through. And then, as generations go on, that starts to become you start to see a domino effect, pretty much.
Yeah.
And guess whose jobs become harder? Teachers.
Yeah. Yeah, you just give me an idea for the May 8th show for concerned about how jobs are now, how jobs are then, and the stigma against jobs. So you actually give me a new topic to talk about for that Sunday, and hopefully that we'll have you and another guest to debate about it, if that's all right with you.
Definitely.
That's all right.
Definitely looking forward to that.
Yeah, because right now I want to make sure everything can work out. You know what I mean? So I think that the problem is that normally we were gonna do this for 30 minutes, but since we had this good conversation, we should extend it to 11 o'clock because I know you got school tomorrow. I know this is a very good conversation. You know what I mean? So I think that we need to discuss about things like that. So the problem is with beatings is not. I don't want to use the term beating. I want to use the term discipline. Is that the people lack discipline because, like what you said, because of okay, we want you to have nowadays we have people to talk, and there should be somebody like a brother system. And nowadays things are changed because nowadays everything is more internet this and internet that, which is I'm for it. I'm absolutely for it. But my main issue is that you see these people walking with iPhones, and see, I'm not jealous that with my phone is an ACC. I have an ACC, so I don't care about price position because nowadays I see people 14, 15. Oh, I want the new iPhone. I want the new iPhone 6s. I want that. But you know what? You have to earn your way to get the iPhone. You have to, I work. I work, and have money coming in, I work. I earn what I get. I'm happy to get iPhone because because I work with technology. You know my history with technology. I could tell you about something about Apple. I could tell you some things about Microsoft. But I choose Microsoft because it's easier to repair than I choose Apple because you have to go through a lot of stuff. But like I said, why are you buying stuff like $600? Oh, I want the new Samsung Galaxy S7. Oh, I want this. I want you have to earn it. If you work, that's good. You can get it. You can do whatever you want. But if your parents get you this, and next you know, they should enforce it a little bit. That's my issue.
Yeah, man. And I agree because I get what you're saying. The kids they beg for a lot of things when they're not working, but then a lot of them they don't really deserve some of it because of their academic performance or even the way they approach their parents too. Because some of them, you should see the way they ask their parents for things. Like they will literally demand it, and then if the parent says no, then they will pretty much condemn their own parent. Like they'll try to say things like, "Oh, you're the worst mom ever. You're the worst dad ever," and that's so hurtful to really tell a parent because you have to think this is the same parent that's providing them a roof over their head and food on their plate and water and clothing.
Exactly.
So all because their parent doesn't give them something at the time that they want it, all of a sudden that parent's the worst in the world. It's so bizarre. The thing is that what also struck me is, and I've been thinking about this in a grander scheme, but I will apply it to this particular topic. Nowadays, it seems like, especially in the liberal West, in the Western civilization we live in now, which is not really, really liberal, it seems as though we're starting to emphasize feelings over facts. And by that I mean we care so much about how people feel that we ignore the truth and reality of a situation or what's going on in the world around us.
Yeah.
Usually when I talk about that kind of stuff, I usually talk about, like, for example, you have like LGBT movements, or you can have these other movements that are going on or around. You can talk about feminism. You can talk about even conversations about like what's going on with ISIS and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Like how people, because they care so much about how people are going to feel if they say certain things, or certain honest things, they don't bother saying it, or they don't bother, taking that honest approach.
Yeah.
But nowadays it's like, when it comes to feelings and facts, and when it comes to, kids and discipline and whatnot,
yeah,
like, a lot of parents, they care so much about how the kids are going to feel that they'll just completely throw logic out the window and just pretty much serve the kid. Like they pretty much make themselves into like servants for their children. It's like, oh man, I know that little Johnny, he's been a little bad boy in school or whatnot, but
yeah,
I don't want to hurt him. I don't want him to be sad because I didn't get him this particular Christmas gift that he's been begging for and stuff like that.
yeah.
The truth of the matter is he does not deserve the Christmas gift. But because you care so much about his feelings or his emotional reaction to that you're willing to pretty much pretty much ignore his problems, ignore the problems that you have to address, and pretty much just give him something that is not going to help him at all, and just feed him a lie. You feed him a lie. You pretty much telling him that it's okay to pretty much just to do things that he's not supposed to do outside of the home, and then expect to be rewarded at home. And that's not how life should work. But you're pretty much feeding him a lie that that's how life works, just because of the way he's going to feel. It's so crazy. It's so crazy how these parents care so much about their children's feelings. And look, listen. As a parent, your children's feelings do matter, but I think when it comes to discipline, just make sure that, you know, you keep things 100. You know, you make sure that you really acknowledge the situation for what it is, and that if actions need to be taken, actions are taken, and that you're not going to let that child's feelings get in the way of that.
Yeah, I know, man.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because I'm pretty sure that when I did something wrong in the past, my mother knew that I was going to be very upset after she was done hitting me, or after she took my Nintendo 64 away, or she told me I couldn't watch cartoons on Saturdays and instead to read a book.
Yeah.
But she did what she had to do to straighten me out.
Yeah.
She did what she had to do because my grades weren't good. She did what I had to do because maybe I disrespected her one day. She knew that that wasn't going to fly. And that helped me to be the person I am today.
That is true. That is true.
Because as the years went on, I knew better than to disrespect her. I knew better than to show up, to come back home with a bad report card, or to not do my best at school.
Yeah.
I knew better. I knew better than to go to school and disrespect the teacher, or to I don't know, try to be like some kind of class clown, or that one idiot in class who would probably just say some random curse word in the classroom to ignite some kind of laughter or something like that. I knew better than to be that kid.
Yeah, exactly. So
And I don't even know why kids like that even exist, because honestly, I don't even see how can people take joy in things like that. But it is what it is, you know?
yeah, I know, man. Nowadays, I found out like my old school, you know, my school used to have 4 schools. You know, Andrew Jackson. We have like 4 schools. Campus Magnet. We have not campus. Andrew Jackson is known as Campus Magnet. But we have math and science. We have law and government. We have humanities. We have business. We heard that business is done. Humanities is done. Law is done. Like the out of the 4 school, our school had the highest graduation rate, and which is like 73%. That was in 2008 at the time. But I don't know if it increased or decreased or whatever the case may be. And I heard that business got the lowest graduation rate, then humanities, then law. So like, that's all I know. But the thing is this. Things is a new generation. Everybody missed for my class, everybody missed the class of 2008. Everybody of the NGX, everybody knows that the 2008 was the goodest. The 2008 was the best class. That's when all the grades was going up. Everybody was going up to a point that, you know, everything was sore because everything's a little easier because we're seniors. You know, we don't give that much trouble. You know, everything's been changing and everything has been going well. You know, so the problem is that like nowadays we have people nowadays. We can't even go to our alma mater because we see some things that's like going on and stuff like that. We can't even like, all right, let's see it in another perspective, you know, like with me, like I'm the type of person I used to take discipline. I take discipline to. I was rarely the type of person who takes discipline. I like, you know, I'm really that type of person. But however, I've done a lot of things that I'm not proud of and that I do deserve discipline. But the problem is when you do discipline and you say not to do that, and next you know you actually doing something else like that I was originally doing, you actually not only you contradicting yourself, you actually null and void the discipline that I'm supposed to get.
Right.
So that's the thing.
Right. You know, and you're talking about your school's graduation rate, and then you said that they were dropping programs, right?
Huh?
You were saying that they were dropping programs in your school, right?
No, they dropped because our school used to be 4 schools, which I named them all.
Yeah.
Now they're closing 2 of them to make it 6 schools in one.
Yeah.
Yes, that's what the main is because my school has the highest graduation rate of all the 4 schools.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
Okay. I just wanted to make sure that I heard that clearly. All right. You know, I remember back in high school days, you know.
Mm-hmm.
I wasn't too aware as far as like what the graduation rate was, but I do know that my class definitely had a bunch of like children who they bust their ass. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
Like talk about biomed kids, math kids. I I was like the 85 average kid, you know, I was more like the liberal arts. I didn't really have like a field of focus really. But I was still doing my thing, you know, and I just remember just the group of friends I had around me, you know, they all seemed like it reached a point where I felt like all of them were going to have like an even brighter future than me, even, because all
That's
of them
exactly
were
how I
just
feel
so.
too. That's exactly how I feel. Nowadays I see
You
some.
know, that I looked, like, talking to them, and, you know, talking to them about, like, their background and how they grew up in their families. I noticed something that was very similar. And though we came from different countries, different nationalities,
Yeah.
our discipline was very much, it was very similar. I mean, now some may have gotten, like, physical discipline, some got, you know, more vocal discipline, but, you know, some got things taken away. But, like, for example, one of my friends, he had got hit by his mom before. Another good friend of mine, he used to get hit by his mom. Not like hit to the point that was abuse, but hit to, you know, restricted physical contact. You know,
I got you.
That's sensible. You know, that's actually discipline, not just something that's being taken too far. You know, I've heard like you have people from countries like Bangladesh and India and whatnot. You know, I remember I was talking to some girls from there. You know, they used to, you know, like, they grew up in a culture where things were expected from them. You know, their parents weren't going to take no D on the report card. They weren't going to accept that.
Yeah.
You know, and then you got other kids from the Middle East that have, like, similar disciplines of that. You know, people from Europe who may have got, like, some beans every now and then. And the thing is that you look at how hard we all worked in high school, and I feel like a lot of that is attributed to that discipline. Because we weren't put in a position where it seemed like it was okay for us to slack off or to be lax or to be lazy, because we knew that there was no reward for that. There was no reward for laziness. There was no reward for foolishness. There was no reward for that. The reward came from hard work and from obedience also, because, you know, when you have parents, you should listen to your parents. I mean, once you're an adult, that's when you go from listening to them all the time to, okay, you consider their opinion, but then you make your own decisions. But as a child going into teenage years, you listen to your parents. They're your guardians. And, you know, that obedience, you know, along with the discipline, along with the hard work, you know, you see all of that lead up to the type of grades that we're getting back to high school, you know, and just seeing how all my classmates managed to accomplish with all those different programs in high school. You know, I wish I did more in high school. I really did. But that's besides the point. Point is that big credit goes to our parents for that.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Big credit goes to our parents for that. And I really hope that the parents of this generation, that's responsible for this upcoming generation, I should say, they should stop being so lenient. And, you know, Rick, there's another problem that just popped in my head.
What?
And I'm not saying that this is a recent problem, but I think now we're starting to see some effects of it, more so than we did in the past, like decades and stuff. And it's when you have like a really, 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 really young parent.
Yeah.
Like we say, like somebody who became a parent in teenage years. Those are generally the parents that try to be friends with their kids. And you know why that is?
Why?
I think it's because I remember talking to my sister one time. I remember her saying that I remember her saying this when she was a teenager. That, you know, she was going to spoil her children because, you know, when we grew up, we didn't get everything we wanted, and she wanted to be able to give her kids what they want.
Right.
And that's a typical mindset. Well, not typical mindset, but that's the mindset you can expect from somebody who's young and really, 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 like, in that phase where they really want things, they're ambitious, but at the same time they feel restricted by their parents.
Yeah.
You know? And so imagine when you have somebody who's really young and they have a child of their own and they're making plans for their children on how they're going to raise their kids. And they're still in that mindset in which they still just hate the restrictions that their own parents put on them. And they don't want that to see that put on their kids. So they're going to want to give their kids whatever they want.
Yeah.
Now, I'm not saying this is always the case, but I'm just saying this is a possible explanation for the recent trends that we see as far as parenthood goes.
Yeah, but the thing is that, like, you are right about part of it, but it's just how you handle maturity, because we don't know exactly how did it happen. It could be somebody, they might be promiscuous, or they could be really in love or something like that, or we don't know what are the cases. We never know like how the environment be. It could be like everybody around that age is having kids and stuff like that. We don't know exactly how the situation starts. But I do know this. I do know that we have to do some things to prevent that, because nowadays we start being there, instead of being their parent, we focus on being their friend and stuff like that, to a point that they can disrespect you. That's also another line that they need to learn how not to cross.
Yeah, the thing is, a lot of these parents too, they seem to act shocked the moment that their kid disrespects them. And the thing is, a lot of these parents also, which is a scary thing, is that they don't adjust. Like, they don't make adjustments after they have that one big instance where they realize that their parenting hasn't really been working. They just kind of stick to it, or, they just give up on themselves. Or they just say, hey, my kid's doing this and that, I don't know what to do. Maybe I have to get some kind of counseling, maybe I have to, send to some kind of boot camp, I don't know what to do, stuff like that. The thing is like, you just got some parents, man, it's like they feel like they're too lazy, you know what I'm saying? Like, they don't want to make necessary changes. They just want to stick to their own method that clearly isn't working. Like, if they're trying to be friends with their kid and their kid disrespects them, then I guess you have to stop being friends with their kids.
That's true.
Simple as that. I mean, after that one instance, don't go and, revert back to being being all lovey-dovey, friendly with them, allowing them to talk to you in any way. It's so crazy. You had parents, they'll get into, really big arguments with their kids, and then, maybe the next day, once everything cools down, they'll literally be taking, a ride in the car with their kid, and their kid could be, they could be talking to each other, and the kid's just there cursing a storm with the parents. And I just don't get, how that, I just don't get how something like that can even succeed. How is that kind of parenting even successful?
Yeah, that is a good question, but we don't. I and Jimmy don't know about that. That's the thing. But the problem is that, how nowadays people just have it depends how your mindset is. It depends how your maturity. It depends what kind of influence that you have around you. Because the better influence is a possibility. You can be that, but also at the same time you have to depend where they come from. The kid has to be more mature than their parents and go through a lot of stuff, or they have to understand what the value of is that. So that's about it. And let's see, and that's about it. So that's what I think. And right now we're gonna speed it up a little bit, because we're about 12 minutes left into the show. So we're gonna discuss a little quick topics. And let's see. What? And my next question is, what should you advise people of when it comes to discipline? What's your edict about it? What is your what is your mission statement about the discipline?
Well, as far as my advice goes, I mean, I'll just have to revert back to what I said earlier regarding the steps of discipline that people should take. Try talking to the child first. Really, because sometimes a child could be doing things because they just want to be heard.
Right.
So talk to the child. See what's going on within their head, within their mind, within their hearts. Try to figure them out. You know.
Mm-hmm.
And if that doesn't work, then as I said, you know, start handing out some punishments. Ground them. Take something away. Let them know that they can't step over you. Let them know that you are the authority. You are the guardian in their life, and they have to respect you. They have to obey you. And if that doesn't work, maybe you may need to give them a little slap. You know, may need to
Mm-hmm.
use a belt every now and then, if that's necessary.
All right.
And then if that doesn't work, then you may have to look for outside interventions.
Oh. Okay, let me give you my quick advice about that. My advice is like this. If you know that you're unable to have a kid, which means like this. If you have a kid and you don't know what to do with it, it's gonna sound very messed up. I'd let somebody hide in you or give it for adoption. But if you're afraid of that, let somebody else raise your kid. Like, if you're not mature enough to handle discipline, depending on the age. But also at the same time, just give your kid some righteous views and stuff like that. Make sure that the kid knows exactly what to do and stuff like that. Make sure the kid has the right foundation. Just don't be the friend, because nowadays we see what happened. Nowadays people, it's right to disrespect your parents and stuff like that. And that's, to a point. I see somebody tell their mom to shut up. To me, it's just like, what's going on? What's going on with this kid, man? Is this kid crazy and stuff like that? And also no control, like acting out in stores and stuff like that. We don't even know if the kid has we don't know if the kid has a disability, or we don't know if the kid that's being rude, because we cannot jump in the cage. We cannot do nothing. That's why with me, I have to stay neutral, because I don't have any kids yet. But by when I'm ready, I might have kids here and there, whatever the case may be, if I find the right person. But the point is that we have to understand that, that's about, that we have to make sure that we're doing our role as a parent, but at the same time we cannot mix our role as a parent and your personal life can't intertwine. And I see a lot of things that's not kosher, and there's nothing I can do with it, but I do know this: you have to keep your kid in check, and don't disrespect kids. Do not disrespect your parents. Don't let the kid walk over you, but at the same time, just be very careful of the discipline that you give them. That's all I gotta say. And Andre, do you have anything you want to say, like any final closure or something like that? And do you have anything?
Well, I guess one thing I can say is that, from working with kids recently, before this paraprofessional job I have now, the after school that I work, it is rather disheartening to see just the way that they come to school and they behave, And both you and I, we spent the last hour really trying to dissect this and really try to figure out what's going on. And we don't have all the answers to this. And we have just as much questions as anybody else. We're just trying our best to really,
find a solution
on it. But reality is, there may not ever be like one or two clear answers for this, and all we know is that there's something happening really with this generation coming up where, these teachers, I'm just going to say this now, these teachers are going to have a rude awakening, and their job is going to become extremely hard, and a lot of them are really going to, if they felt like third parents before, they're really going to feel like third parents now. And they're going to have probably even harder than the parents, and then the kids' actual parents at home, because if those kids don't respect their own parents, they ain't going to respect the teachers.
That's true.
Good luck getting these kids to line up. Good luck getting these kids to take a seat in class. Good luck getting these kids to pay attention. Good luck getting these kids to even, do assignments. This stuff is ridiculous, man. I remember I was applying for after school programs. Like before I got this job as a paraprofessional, I was applying for after school programs, and they had me do a tryout, and I went, and all I saw were kids who they were told to line up, they didn't line up, but the guardians or the counselors, they just kept walking anyways, like with the kids, as if it's okay that the kids didn't just completely disregard the fact that, they were told to line up. Now, I'm not going to blame, I have to blame the counselors for that partly, of course, because they have a job, but at the same time, the kids shouldn't have went into that program that they acted like that. They should, somebody at home should have told them, hey, look, you need to act like when you're both in this house and when you're not in this house. And for kids to just go out in a public area and act like that and disrespect adult, society figures like that, it's ridiculous, man. I just remember not wanting that job after I left. Because I think that was probably the worst behaving kids I've ever seen. Of any job that I've ever witnessed, and it's crazy for you to say that because I felt like kids really violated me when I was working at Queens Community House when it came to talking back and discipline and all that, a lack of discipline, all these different things. But man, that job tryout, just that one day I was there alone, it was just crazy, man. Yeah. It was really, really crazy. I love they had them sitting in the auditorium, and even though everybody was told to sit down, you saw kids running up and down the stairs, hanging on to columns and stuff like that, standing up. It was crazy. I'm just wondering, what the hell are the parents doing? But Rick, also we should keep in mind though, too. I remember my boss at my old job told me this, to keep, at least cut the parents a little bit of slack, because this could also correlate with the job market too, if you think about it, because now the job market has gotten so bad to the point that you have parents working 2 jobs, and because they have 2 jobs, they spend less time with their kids.
Yeah, that's true.
Some parents. So they don't actually get to see their kids often. So that could also affect, that whole thing going on with lack of discipline in the homes and stuff like that. That could also play a very, 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 very important role. And it's tragic, it's unfortunate, but it is what it is. You know what I'm saying? And let's just hope that, the influences that have caused this, the factors, I should say, that have caused this, will soon, they'll soon change, and make a positive turn, and you'll start to see kids coming into school acting like they want to learn.
Yes.
More,
True.
I want to see more kids like the kid that I saw today while I was riding on the Down van. I heard this kid, he was sitting down with his mom, and he was telling his mom about, you did the Grand Army Plaza, right?
Yeah, I know Grand Army, yeah.
Yeah, he saw I think they call I forgot the name. But he saw statues and stuff like that, and he was explaining the history of it to his mom to the best of his ability. And they started to talk about, because he passed Erasmus High School, and it's the old, 16th or 17th century house there. He started talking about that. And I was just hearing this kid talking about really intelligent things, and, I'm just man, I wish I had more kids like that. He's very respectful, he's very knowledgeable, the way he addresses his mom he addresses his mom in a very respectful way, and
yeah.
There are kids like that out there, but it's man,
it's very rare.
They seem so overshadowed compared to some of the other kids.
Yeah, I know. All right. Let me say some final words. We're about 2 minutes from the show to be over, and excuse me, guys. And I like to thank Andre for taking his hour out to explain about the views of our topic for discipline and what we should have done. So I'd like to thank Andre for that. Andre, I'd like to thank you.
No problem, man. Anytime, man. Anytime you want me on your podcast, I'll do it, man.
Alright, that's cool, man. And next week on Prof Talk, we're gonna talk about religion. I'm gonna have my buddy from high school is more spiritual in his life, and we're gonna talk about how religion has played a factor of all this. So I'd like to thank you guys for watching this podcast, and hopefully we got a good start so far, and hopefully we'll start next week. And next week is about religion, and I want to get everybody's view on it, and hopefully I get some Facebook messages or YouTube messages or whatever we should talk about it. So if you have any question and answer to ask, you go to my YouTube page, which is www.youtube, type in Proph Talk. You see my channel and everything else, including this current live stream. And also you can go to my Facebook, which is facebook.com Proph Talk with Proph Talk, and you'll see Proph Talk with Rick Joseph, and you put your comments in and everything else. And guys, like my page, I'll put up the description and everything else. So I want you guys to have a nice night and enjoy your day. Alright, peace.